Okay. Hello one and all, my name's John Clare, this is
Roman Presh,
and this is the Post Watch Post Mortem. And today we are talking about the 2010 Edgar Wright directed, Michael Cera starring Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I think it's fair to say, because me and you have watched this movie both separately and together in the past, that we are quite partial to this film.
Yeah. It's a movie that's basically part of my just like part of my psyche a little bit. You know, like I was, it's a movie that's a bit of a part of me. Like, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was intrinsic to your youthful development.
Basically, 2005, I was calculating.
Well, it's going to 2010.
We're currently
23, so 13 years back.
Yeah, 13 years back, so I was 18. No, wait.
You're not 31, dude. You're 28.
28, so it was...
So you would have been about 15.
So I was 15?
Yeah,
I was 15, okay. So 15, 16, you know, like, yeah. That's right, it's starting to you know, I don't know.
Starting to dawn on you that you're getting older.
Yeah, getting, just like, you know, like being adolescent and thing. And that's a movie that I really like, you know, because it's this video game. It's basically it's one of the only movie that's that it's pure. That like it doesn't make fun of video game, or it doesn't show video game, or you know, like it's not like. There was no. It was not like. Do you remember Ready Player One?
From shit.
Yeah. But basically, this
So
game
bad.
tried to talk about video game, but the way they talk was like, oh, we put like Master Chief here, we put like the guy from Final Fantasy here, we put this there. And
Yeah, but
like,
it was also films as well. Do you remember? Because like you had the DeLorean, you had RoboCop, and all.
Yeah.
It was basically nostalgia bait.
yeah, but like talking about the video thing, it's really a movie that's, you know, like the video game, the music, the ground, is it like garage rock or garage band? Not punk, but like, you know, like
It has kind of like early 90s sort of grungy feel to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like kind of like Nirvana or Mudhoney, or you know, or the Pixies or something like that. You
like
see those kind of influences.
Most Franz Ferdinand, Franz Ferdinand, the Pixies, Nirvana. You're right. Like there's kind of a rebellious punk rock. It's not punk, but like it's
grunge rock.
Grunge rock, yeah. And even the video game aspect, you know, like none of the time you could feel there was a reference to a video game, but it was not like, oh, that's basically they didn't put like Mario in a game and say, oh, that's thing.
There's more audio cues. And
It's
stuff
all
like
audio.
That.
And what I like about this movie as well, big shout out to Edgar Wright. He basically had to make. I don't know how many books there is. I think there's 9 books or 8 books.
I've never read it, so I don't know.
So I read the original comic book by Brian Lee O'Malley.
Mm-hmm.
I got the collection. Actually, I think I got the collection before the movie came out.
Really?
So I had because first of all, the collection was not finished when the movie came out. It was it was missing. Basically, the movie. We're going to do a synopsis of the movie, and when we do the synopsis, I'll tell you when the book stopped.
So where it intersects with the release of the film.
The sex review.
Okay,
it was
cool.
still. I think Brian Lee O'Malley was still like helping in the making of the movie, but basically,
Yeah, he's one of the writers.
The ending was not yet to be determined. So
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, there's still Gideon. There's still those things that was like in it, but like the way it happens is a bit different. And there's a lot of character development that have been like. There's more character development in the comic books because there's more. There's not. It's not 2 hours. Is it an hour or 2 hours?
Hour and 52 minutes is the
hour
right time.
52 minutes, and it's hard to condense the story in a movie format.
Well, of course. I mean, it's one of the big drawbacks to cinema. I mean, you're in certain more long-form medias like TV series, like books, like comic books, where you can tell the story over like however long you need to tell the story. In the movies, it is you got to really sit X amount, you know, keep it under 2 hours. So you got to be judicious in what you can and cannot show. So yeah, that makes sense.
And talking about the movie. The movie starts with the quote, like almost it's like a fantasy tale, you know, like it's almost like it is kind of fantasy, but it's a modern fantasy.
Yeah, you could say that.
It's a modern fantasy. So basically, it all started a long time ago. No, it was. What did it say? It was a long time ago.
Yeah, well, no, it's a story not so long ago in a mysterious place, Toronto, Canada.
Yeah, Toronto, Canada. And you follow the life of it starts exactly the same way.
Yeah.
It's like it's Scott telling all this bands group thing that he found a girl. The girl is Knife. She's 17. He's 22. And
which is a bit creepy.
No, but like
it kind of verges on it a little bit.
Like it's because she's not 18.
Yeah,
she's still a kid.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I mean, without getting too much into the weeds on that particular subject, but the thing is, like, because I've had this discussion before with people, there's a big difference between a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old, and then there's a big difference again between an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old.
And then there's less difference and less difference.
Yeah, as you get older, then it starts kind of marrying up a lot more. But yeah, around about that kind of like adolescent, post-adolescent period in somebody's life. I mean, you do a lot of personal growth in a very kind of short, contracted period of time.
That's what you see with Knife. Knife is the one that grew the most in the comic books, and she grew extremely fast in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
The character grew very, very fast. And it's like this relationship with Kim and thing. It's just like I like how they. We'll go back to this later, but like I like when the. That scene when they're doing the Dance Ninja Revolution thing.
That's cool.
And this scene is basically not in the comic books. It's just there to tell you, to the audience, that's the reason he can fight that good. It's because he's really good at video games and moving his body on the thing. This scene was just there to tell the audience, like, just to fight. He got some move, like, it's a ninja.
In-universe justification.
In-universe justification. And I love that scene, like, when that's Edgar Wright adding it. That thing when basically the countdown is like, do you want to continue? Like it's like, do you want to continue that relationship? And it's like 10, 9, 5. Like, and then the first time he said like yes, and the second time he played with her, he got disconnected and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like he doesn't know if he want to continue or it's And also the intro, I kind of love the intro of the band. So with those, he kept the how do you call those strokes? Those
the directional lines from the comic
even
book.
like the shwam, bam, boom, like in French it's called onomatope.
Okay,
what is it called in English?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
It's basically you writing sound.
Yeah,
on the page of a comic book. To basically,
so that's the thing. So not only is it embracing like pop culture, not only is it embracing video games, it's also embracing its source material as well.
Comic books, like it's basically the movie is like a comic book as well. There's pages. There is like not pages, but there is sometimes there is boxes or what do you call them again?
Panels.
There's panels. There is it's like a book. There is also like text, like a lot of text and then and thing. There's a lot of narrative text going on into the movie. Mm-hmm. Also, one funny thing, he asked most of the actor to blink a minimum, so the image look like they come from the page of a comic book. Because on the comic books, you never see somebody blink.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah, it's always like looking. They can blink, like they can close their eyes and stuff like that, but they never blink because they always draw their eyes open.
True.
Yeah, except when they're sleeping or they close their eyes.
Yeah.
But like,
when they're taking a very painful shit.
Yeah, and the first music, We Are the what is it called? It's not. But I call it We Are the Sex Bomb Bomb. It's not called like that, but like that's the intro, the Scott Pilgrim intro. And I think it's great. Like I love it. Like when the couch is like stretching in.
Yeah, it's class.
Stretching in, and this scene is there as well in the comic book. Eyes basically what is shown in the comic books. It's eyes like like stars. The 2 stars go there.
Yeah.
And it's funny in the comic book too. Like after the band play. She goes outside the door, says bye Knife, and she still have the eyes with she's leaving the place with the eyes like this, damn, No,
that's the thing though. I mean, like one thing I mean, I adore this film, right? So, I mean, I was just before we started recording, I was having a quick old look through some of the reviews and that. And like, there was mostly positive. There were one or two like reviews that are quite harsh, but I think mainly because the people who kind of reviewed it harshly, I would imagine, are not the target audience. Do you know what I mean? So, like, there's two critics here. Was it Deborah Ross from The Spectator and Stephen D. Gradenus from Decent Films? But both of these are noticeably older. Like, I'd say Deborah Ross is probably about the same.
It's not the same generation. It's not the same generation.
I mean, like when this film first came out, I mean, I know I'm older than you, but when this film came out, I was 29. So
it's for that I was saying that maybe the movie should have waited. So the critic, basically, the people who like the professional critic, would have been the same generation of.
There's never going to be a perfect time to release a film, and I think the problem with it is because like, we were looking. Another thing we were looking at, I like to look at because I think it's quite interesting.
If we're talking about the review, do you want to talk about like it's like what happened in the box office?
Well, I'm just getting that number up now. Like the box office. When I saw this, I was like, "Wow, this is bad," which I find really surprising because I think it's a really good film. But the actual budget was $60 million at the time. If you factor inflation, today it would be about 85-ish million, 84.5, I think. And pardon anymore. But yeah, its worldwide take was $49 million worldwide. That's a catastrophic flop.
Also, it's you know, like it was. First of all, the IP was not
well known enough.
Not known enough. No,
but you could say that about Guardians of the Galaxy. I think a lot of it's down to the marketing machine. If the marketing is,
the movie was not marketed very well.
No, I mean the thing is, it done gangbusters. I mean the thing is, I mean we're looking at Box Office Mojo here. It done gangbusters in the UK, mate. It done nearly 8.5 million. Basically, the UK counts for the vast majority. After the America, its lifetime gross was $33 million. After that, it was the UK for $8 million. That is not bad.
To be fair, in my school, I was the only one like this movie. Oh no, like talking about it non-stop or listening to it non-stop.
But that's the thing, though. With this film, sorry, talking with mouthful, not very rude. What this film's managed to do, because I didn't watch it in the cinema, because I didn't even know it was out. I found out about it. I think it was on Netflix about, I think it was like 2012 or something when I first watched this movie, 2013, 2014 maybe. And yeah, I mean, like, I was blown away by it. I thought, like, I didn't know it was directed by Edgar Wright until I watched the movie.
Okay.
I mean, I'd already seen
until you see it directed by Edgar Wright.
By which time, like, you already had.
Do you know why you thought he was? You didn't know he was directed by Edgar Wright?
Why?
This is non Simon Pegg and no Nick Frost. It was the first one with Simon Pegg without
them, yeah,
without them. After Hot Fuzz.
That's right. Because initially, not only that, before this film came out, basically Edgar Wright moved on to do this movie because he was supposed to direct the first Ant-Man movie for Marvel.
Oh.
And there was a big fall. Have you seen Ant-Man?
So Chris Evans was already Captain America when this movie
came out? Chris, he was already Captain America.
Okay. And the other one was already Batman as well. No, Superman.
Brandon Ruth. That came out in 2006, so about 4 years before this, yeah. Sorry, bear with us a moment.
Yeah, it's the one we eat pizza today.
Mm-hmm. It's been a long time. But yeah, like the movie. So yeah, so it had. I mean, you look at the cast. I mean, look at the cast now. Like Michael Cera, Brie Larson, who's Captain Marvel, that's also flopped quite badly according to current numbers. Apparently, its open weekend was about $40-odd million in the States. Mm-hmm. Sorry, state of affairs. That I think Marvel needs to look at itself. But at the time, Marvel was on the ascendancy. Mm-hmm. So you had Chris Evans playing Captain America, and so that was obviously a big get. Brandon Ruth as Superman. I think that they were deliberate casting choices because they've already been in comic book movies or were about to be in comic book movies. You had Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright was going to direct Ant-Man, And a lot of what Edgar Wright had originally put in for, like, you know, not Michael Cera. You know when what's his name? The Mexican dude. We know when he does the kind of like, he talks through how they committed their crimes and whatever else, and there was and the fight in the daughter's bedroom with Thomas the Tank Engine. All of that was from Edgar Wright, right? But he had to leave. Basically, he left it because Marvel would turn around to him. Kevin Feige was turning around to him and saying, well, we need to kind of have more interaction with the MCU.
Even the scene when they're like doing the flashback thing.
Yeah, all that.
Like, because that's where he got right to mix the sound up and thing like that. You know. Like,
a lot of the pre-production was already done.
Yeah.
But the thing was, like, there was. I think what it was is they brought in. I think it was Anthony Mackie. For the Falcon scene.
Yes.
Okay. For the Falcon scene, and Edgar Wright was like, "No, I want to make my own movie," and they were like, "Well, no."
You have to introduce the Falcon because he didn't have enough script. Oh no, it was like when did he started to make Falcon? Yeah, it was in the last movie. We need to introduce more.
Yeah, exactly. Get the audience more familiar with these characters.
And it's the scene is not necessary.
No, it's totally filler. So
it's just like adding time to, like, this scene could be made to make more good scene, but no, it was just to introduce a new character to make the connection.
So Edgar Wright just turned around and said, "No, sorry, I'm not happy to do that." So then he moved off production from Ant-Man, and I believe he went straight on to doing Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest with you, it's such a shame this movie didn't do well, but initially, but it's strange how this film has kind of developed a real cult following over the last decade and 2010, 13 years.
And it's being brought back by Netflix.
That's right, yeah, because this is purely coincidence, right?
It is purely coincidence.
Well, actually, it is. There's no forethought with it at all.
No.
Because what we did was like...
This show is sponsored by Netflix. No, it is not.
If only. But no, the thing is, like... that's throwing me off my train of thought.
What happened this month?
Oh, yeah.
About like Scott Pilgrim.
So anyway, because me and you actually made this list about 2 months ago.
About like comic books movie adaptation in cinema.
Exactly. Much like what we did with the Halloween series we did last month. It was like we wanted to plan it out rather than just kind of randomly choosing movies like we were doing when we first started.
Yeah.
So we had a bit of kind of cogency throughout. And not only that, so we could like let anyone watching know that from next week here's what we're watching. So anyway, we kind of scheduled it, and then we know. Then I think it was you who kind of pointed out. Oh, by the way, you know Scott Pilgrim's coming out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, really? What day's that happening? And it was like, oh yeah, 17th of November. Wait a minute, I mean, recording Scott Pilgrim on that weekend. Yes, we are. Yeah. So it all worked out quite well, to be honest. Yeah. So. I mean, I would like to watch that actually, because I think, the fact that they've got the original cast back as well, which is pretty surprising.
The entire cast sign up to go back to the thing.
That's bananas.
Because it was a great, like, working with the guy, right? I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
And basically, from what I see from the interview thing, they really like to work together and to have a good, like, they all had fun.
Yeah,
they really all have fun.
You could see that though.
Yeah, they all had fun.
They really kind of everyone kind of threw themselves into it. I mean, even Michael Cera. Michael Cera, you look at him, you wouldn't think he could beat his way out of a wet paper bag. But amazingly, thanks to amazing shot selection, amazing editing,
maybe choreography.
Amazing choreography. Like, it just seems like that was a movie that was so well put together.
Yeah,
it really is, and you can see it makes Michael Cera, who bear in mind, this guy come from Superbad. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Or Juno.
Like he's always kind of come across. He looks like he doesn't look like much, but the fact that they were able to make him look like a bit of a badass.
Yeah, give him like a bit of a hey, kick ass. You know?
Yeah.
Here you go.
So that's what's so cool about this. And not only that, the movie, getting into actually like how well the movie's put together, because like, again, we're massive Edgar Wright fans, me and you.
Yeah, we
I think it's pretty, like we've watched through the entire, I don't know how many times I've watched through the original Cornetto trilogy, at least 10, 15 times, easy. I've watched this movie over the last decade. I've probably watched it at least 5-6 times. Mm-hmm. and at least a couple of times with you. And obviously, I've seen. You haven't seen Last Night in Soho yet, have you?
No, I haven't. No,
you need to watch it.
It's the one I have kind of missed. A bit.
But the one thing you can always say about Edgar Wright, right, from Shaun of the Dead, right, where when they're in the Winchester Arms and the zombies are coming through, and Don't Stop Me Now starts playing in the background, and they start whacking the fucking back of the zombies
in rhythm, when they watch.
It's so fucking.
And the camera pans out, and the mother and the girlfriend's like this. They get into it. Like, it's very funny. Also, my favorite moment in Shaun of the Dead is when he go to put the power back on.
Yeah,
and it's like is it working? And it's like you see the window, the back door window with all the zombie, and the thing he does is just like put the curtain on. Like, that will help. That will help. Or even the very classic Cornetto trilogy.
What? You'd never seen a fence before?
No, they never took a shortcut. You never took a shortcut before? It's just that jumping off. I think, which one? Oh, it's in Oddfuzz, we just basically nailed it.
Oh yeah, when he starts like leaping over like a ninja.
I don't know what does he do in Shaun of the Dead. It's just like it's very longly try to get of each one of them. Yeah, he just
climbs over the fence, right? Poof, I'm okay.
Okay.
But as Nicholas Angel, where like you see Simon Pegg like jumping over it like a fucking...
It's just like jump, and the last one at the end is just like do a backflip thing, and then
Nick Frost comes in, smashes through,
and the world end is just like try to reach over, and the entire fence fall off. Yeah,
but I just love that. I mean, the fact, I love Edgar Wright as a director. I mean, I love the Cornetto trilogy. I absolutely adore it. Asking me to choose. I mean, I know a lot of people kind of, especially at the time when The World's End came out, a lot of people criticised it. But
I know.
I'm going to be honest with you. Asking me to choose which one of the Cornetto trilogies is my favorite. It's like asking me to choose a favourite child.
No, it's just like it's.
Mine.
So what's your favourite movie of the Cornetto trilogy? The Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. Which is my favourite niece or nephew? I don't have children of mine, but my brothers do. No. I love them all. Yeah. So no, I'm not.
Same for Edgar Wright. I like all his movies. I didn't watch Night in Soho. I fucking love Baby Driver.
Baby Driver is so good.
I fucking love Baby Driver. I still have. I haven't watched Last Night in Soho. Last Night in Soho is Night in Soho.
Last Night in Soho.
Last Night in Soho. Like Edgar Wright, yeah. Talking about Edgar Wright, this movie is full of Edgar Wright signature move. So basically, every movement is accompanied. First of all, the movements are amazing.
The transitions
are amazing. So, and at some point, Scott Pilgrim gets a bit lost because after like he go with knives and go during the day.
Yeah.
And I like the cut. Basically, he go to they walk to the street. There's a guy passing, and they basically walk the same way, but they teleported somewhere else. And is a way to show that the time passed,
Yeah, I mean...
but he used the same technique.
Yeah, he did it. In Shaun of the Dead, he did the same thing.
I know, yeah. But like, it's a very Edgar Wright thing. He does. But like, this moment when, those moments where they cut and basically they're still in the same place, they have to show that the time passed, basically. That they have so much fun that basically they don't see the time... running. And then Scott Pilgrim got lost when he see Ramona for the second time.
Yeah.
And then the transition become like it instead of like transition, it jumped because it just lost track of time.
Yeah.
Like we went from going fast in time and losting the time. Do you know when you see Ramona in the library, and in the library you see the character of the lead guitar thing popping his head in the bakery. It's like, Scott. It was like, and then we are in the thing.
Yeah.
And then he walk back to Scott, and when he's supposed to cut to him answering.
Yeah,
they're already outside to go to the party.
Yeah,
it's just those things to tell. It's those clever way to tell you that basically he's lost. He completely lost his, like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know where he is. It's just like he just goes through. It just those cuts tell you that he go through stuff. Like he's doubting. He's no like. And that's what I love about Edgar Wright, because
he's a visual
literally. It didn't It didn't sacrifice any of the panel and try to replicate the panel of the comic books. literally it tried to do like it does look like the comic books.
As most series can be, yeah.
But like instead of like sacrificing visual to put a style, first of all, it used audio. What in the medium of comic books you have only visual medium.
True.
It's a visual medium. And the only way that Edgar Wright could respect it, so it's just like use a visual of the comic books.
Yeah.
Literally, he used the visual of the comic books. True. It's panel to panel. But what he added is, it was like, he didn't take something to add something. He just put sounds, effects, and cuts and thing. Like,
the way I would say is that he's taken what was brilliant about comic books and what's brilliant about cinema.
Yeah, sound.
And not just sound, but in terms of like
cuts and transitions.
The cuts, transitions. And he's kind of melded the two like much better than like for instance, in terms of like comic books, films that we shot panel for panel for a comic book. Another one good example of that is Sin City or 300.
Yeah.
Right, 300. Zack Snyder directed. Robert Rodriguez directed Sin City. Right, and they were the first to use like the type of technology in terms of like green screen and that kind of thing, like shooting everything on green screen. And the one thing, especially because I was watching I mean, I think you sent it to me. Was it something you sent? No, it was. I think it was come down here. I was getting ready to come down here for one of our shoots, and I saw like a documentary on Sin City. And the one thing that Robert Rodriguez was saying is that he wanted it to have the feel of the comic book.
Yeah.
And they wanted to shoot panel for panel, and Frank Miller was very much involved with it as well, the guy who wrote Sin City.
Brian Lee was very involved with the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Brian Lee O'Malley. So like the fact that it was almost like, because in Sin City it was actually co-directed, and that was at Robert Rodriguez's insistence. He wanted him, and only that, I think Quentin Tarantino came in and directed the scene as well. So, but the thing is, there's that kind of like wanting to be true to the material, and I think with this one, it does it in a very different way, but it still manages to do it. And I think probably more effectively.
Yeah.
Because one thing, it's not just about being accurate to the comic book and accurate to the source material. It's like, okay, look, what we're going to do is
still put his space into it while respecting the thing.
That's exactly it. It's like, because one thing I will say about Edgar Wright is that in terms of his his films are very technical.
Yeah.
Right. But they're technical and brilliant. Edgar Wright is the reason why he's one of my favorite directors. He's a very visual director. Firstly, he understands cinema implicitly, and he uses very advanced techniques and very advanced editing. But he does it in a fun and playful way.
He just play with it.
Yeah.
You know, you consider like this like a job. It considers like a game.
Yeah,
he play with it. He play with the cuts. He play with the sound.
It's like in Hot Fuzz.
He play with the sound effect. He always play with the sound effect. Even in Baby Driver, like the movie that you said, like it's just like the sound effect is not that much. Of course, the music is a big part of Baby Driver.
Yeah, massive.
But the sound effects are there. Like, look at the Edgar Wright movie. And look at the movement of the character and listen to the sound at the same time. For example, in Baby Driver, there's a point when they like the character like moving their eyes. And they're moving the eyes, and the traffic, you can hear the traffic.
Yeah.
But you don't hear it loud like this. You just hear this in the background.
Yeah.
But it's still matching.
Yeah.
It's matching to the eye of the characters, like looking at each other.
Yeah.
This is like
he takes all these filmmaking techniques and he does again. It's very advanced. Another example would be like in Hot Fuzz when when Nicholas Angel's going from London to the country.
How do you explain to somebody that you're traveling far?
Well, not even traveling far, but
in a regular movie, they will show you like drone shot or helicopter shot of somebody going from New York, and then he is going to Florida, and you just like see Florida and stuff like that. Or there will be a text. Just like Florida.
But there'll be a panning shot of them driving over a bridge or something.
Yeah, over a bridge or something like that. Sunset. Yeah.
But the thing is, like in Hot Fuzz, what did he do? It was like he used visual cues, like for instance, the taxis.
Then the phone. You go through a London taxi.
Yeah.
And then take the train. Then you check his phone is full signal.
Yep.
Then stop the train, sleep over, get awake. And there is like you see the phone going like less and less signal, And then the last one is like a rural taxi sign. You're
Exactly.
like rural England.
That's the thing. Like, it's using using visuals to tell the story. I mean, this is what's great about cinema. It's a visual medium.
Yeah.
And if you just apply a bit of creativity and a bit of invention, you can use those. You can use certain tropes. You can use certain techniques to tell a story of something happening without it being so trite and so fucking obvious.
Yeah.
It can be done in a really witty, intelligent way.
Because Edgar Wright, most of his brilliant sound and image editing is the one you don't realize was there.
Yeah. And not only that, one thing I will say about Scott Pilgrim is that the budget for it at the time was $60 million, right?
Yeah.
Does that film look like I mean, I don't know what a $60 million film would look like, but that film looks like an expensive movie. Like they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on it. Do you know? And it's because, I reckon they get, again, like they gave him the budget, $60 million. Away you go, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, it was a stake.
What did he do? I guarantee you this. When he was planning all that out, when he was putting all that together, him and his team, and they were putting it all together, and they knew every single shot and how it was going to look. They had a very clear idea. They went to the visual team and said, "Okay, right, here's what I need to do. We need it to look like this and like this." And they came together and they produced something that looks so fucking amazing.
Yeah,
it looks so good.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Like, do you know what's funny about like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is like it's a teen drama.
Yeah.
At an epic scale.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, like, you could turn around and say, like, I mean, like, I know I'm probably now I've aged out of the demographic for this movie by a good bit. But when it came
everybody
out,
did, and everybody's going too. Like.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But when it came out, I was 29, so I was kind of like just about aging out of it already. But the thing is, I'd already seen Shaun of the Dead. I'd already seen Hot Fuzz. I mean, I remember. Do you know something? I remember when Shaun of the Dead first came out, right? And at the time, there was like posters of it everywhere, but I didn't go and see it straight away. But then I'm out with some old college mates of mine in a pub in Walthamstow where I grew up, and they were saying, one of my school friends turned around to me and says, "John, have you seen Shaun of the Dead?" And I was like, "Well, I don't really like horror movies." No, oh, you need to see it. Did you like Spaced? Not really, no. Oh fuck, man, you really need to see it. And I was like, okay, fine, fair enough. Then so I kind of like. You know, I think it was in Sainsbury's or something like that. I saw it on self DVD. I was like, all right, I'll give this a whirl, and I fucking fell in love. And ever since then, it's like anything to do. If I know Edgar Wright's directing it, I'm in like Flynn. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Sign me in.
Sign me up, mate. Yeah. Sign me up. I'm there for it. Because like the guy, I mean, yeah, in terms of everything he's able to do, in terms of everything that he's able to kind of demonstrate, he's like technical wizardry. Like people, I mean, I was looking at one of the critics said, like we mentioned earlier on. Let's see if we can bring it up. I know that was Scott Pilgrim on Rotten Tomatoes. Right, one of the things that was said, right, I don't know if I read it already, but I'm reading it again. Energy, invention, and audacity count for little unless you sense something at its core. Unless a film gives you something to feel, but there is silch here, it's hollow. I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
But like,
because I think
do you know what I would like? I can be the devil advocate and tell you guys.
Go for it, man.
Is that it's hard to look the movie focus on Scott Pilgrim and his relationship with Ramona Flowers.
Yeah.
But even that, it just grasps it a little bit from the comic books. See what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's a shortened version of everything. Everything is going fast, and we dismiss every axis and everything like left and right.
Yeah.
And this relationship basically, it's lasted like it basically his relationship he has with her is basically lasts like for us like 2 days or 3 days. Do you know, like?
Yeah, maybe so, but you got to bear in mind also the age of the characters are at. They're all in their late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
That happens at that age. Everything's going
fast.
Exactly. Like when you get to my age, everything kind of pulls. Everything kind of stretches out a bit.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, back then it's like a week. When you're 16, 17, a week is forever. A month is in eternity.
Yeah.
You know. So it makes sense that there's this kind of like real youthful energy to it. And the relationship. Okay, the relationships aren't deep and meaningful relationships. We're so fucking what?
No,
man?
but like it's the relationship that it has. Like, but like for example, there's my best moment in the comic books is with Kim and Scott. that Kim was one of the ex of Scott, and she's playing the drum in the band. And there's a lot of there's a lot of things that was left out, because for example when they first Scott and Ramona first broke up, kind of thing. Basically, Kim left. Also, Kim left. At the middle of the book, the band stopped. Right. The band stopped. Everybody went separate ways and stuff like that. Just the bands stopped at some point. I can remember really well. But like, Kim went back to live in the countryside to his parents. Scott moved to his father's house. Mm-hmm. So that's why he brought back there. Is just like living in his father's house.
Yeah.
And it's and he go back to her, and basically you just go back to see a friend, like basically like just like I've been down. I don't want to stay in Toronto. I just want to breathe out a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's where you meet Nigga Scott in the thing. He fights it. So and it's all those little scenes and stuff like that we kind of miss, and I think just why the TV show will give us more, or will give us the
more context.
The context.
Yeah.
And for example, like I'll tell you, like Ramona just like give me like that's my type of girl now. I'm sorry. How do you say that? She's a
bloody attractive lady. I mean,
Mary
Elizabeth Winstead is a beautiful woman.
Scott Pilgrim is the reason why I like a girl with baggage and emotional baggage and just trouble. Like it's just how do you call that?
Complicated.
No, it's girl with issues.
Complicated.
Yeah. I like my girl with issues, but like it's very But when we're doing the Simpsons, where we stopped at, we like so.
So basically, right,
we see with Kim, and then at some point he's dreaming, and he see for the first time Ramona that use his brain as a way to travel faster to deliver Amazon packages. So it's there. It's really never explained in the comic books, but it's there. It's there. It's like to let you know that the comic books it look like our world, but it's a totally different world.
Yeah.
And funny enough, like, do you see all those sound of Zelda and all those sound of like those sounds are literally it's not like knockoff sound to try to maybe it's this.
Yeah, they
those
got the
are
license.
The sounds.
Yeah.
Of it. Do you know how he got the license?
Yeah.
Because he asked Shigeru Miyamoto. Edgar Wright asked Shigeru Miyamoto directly. He emailed him to ask him, please give us the right for those music, because those music are the lullaby of a generation. And it's true. Those little melody are the lullaby of my generation, of your generation as well.
Yeah,
if you play video game as well.
Yeah, definitely. Because you got to bear in mind, like
they're lullaby.
Yeah, it's like when I was a kid, like the first video game I ever played that I can recall was Super Mario Brothers 3 on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah. And you see also the sound of the coins, the sound of the thing. You know those sounds. You grew up with those. They're part of your of childhood.
It's because the only Zelda game I ever I played two. I played the Ocarina of Time on the N64, and I played.
If you played Ocarina of Time, you must have. If you play Ocarina of Time, you must recognize the melody of the dream melody sequence.
Yeah.
When you go to P, there's like the P bar. Funny enough, the P bar is like Scott Pilgrim go through a door. And then it cuts to his dream. That's so amazing. It's just like you don't know. I think it's probably a bit confusing for like older, like I don't know, like for people who doesn't like.
I think, to be honest with you, I mean,
also I tell you, it's part of his character. It just doesn't know where he's at. At some point he's dreaming. At some point,
visual storytelling.
Yeah, because it's just his life is kind of like. Become boring and everything is the same, and he doesn't know when where he is or is at, and when he's like going pee, there's like the P bar and the P bar is empty. The P bar is actually reflected in the mirror. It's like little detail like that. I found I love it, and this melody is like is the fairy like melody. And because it's fairies like dreaming and stuff like that, and Also, it's very funny. There's a lot of very funny things. the character of William Wells and Kieran Culkin, which I always confuse with
Kieran Culkin.
which I always confuse with the guy from Spider-Man from Sam Raimi.
Tobey Maguire.
It does look like Tobey Maguire.
A little bit, maybe.
But like, I love his like the character there, and the room is exactly the room. Literally, each set of the place is exactly like he drew in the comic books. Like the room with the room with the bed on the floor, the sofa, the kitchen, the computer, and the bathroom.
Yeah, this is Wallace. The coat.
Yeah. Because like,
Scott.
it's because he thinks it's his place as well, but no, it's not really his place. It's Wallace's place, but it's just like thing. And there's the two lesbian like thing, and that scene is from the comic books as well. So that is from the comic books. Like the thing where you go in. Check what his own is like he scan the room. So the comic books like just scan the room first, like you go panel to panel and you scan the room and it's like what's Scott, what this is like and like reading the email sent by the Matthew Patel like like to explain it like
this like, is so boring
to the death the death and just like oh no. And it's like,
but I think to be honest with you, like Michael Cera was probably the best kind of casting because I
don't know. Yeah, but like so? it's he looked very young because they were not 22 when they
never are, mate.
They never are.
Do you know what I mean?
But like even like it does look very young and it does look. Do you know it looked like a teenager. Like me or thing, and also that the thing of him fighting like a badass and stuff like that is explained by the dance thing. But in the comic books, or literally if you remove that scene, do you know why? He's fighting was so good? Because it's in his mind. It's like when you're a kid, you always think you're fucking cool. Like you're like
we like so when we were kids, like we watched John Dunn. I don't know, watching something by Jean-Claude Van Damme. And
it's like you just do the move and stuff like that. It's like it's kid fantasy. It's like it's like you it's like. In your mind, you fight that guy, but like in your mind, it was epic, like or stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
definitely.
Yeah, and and then there is the crash and the the crash and the boys? The crash and the boys. Oh, yeah. You like it?
I'm Crash. Here's the boys.
Is it a boy too? But like with the character of Wallace, like with the girlfriend and stuff like that. You're like, do you know like when they're all coming together, it's like they'll look and the guy look at the gay a sister boyfriend, but like the movie is great. I don't know, the movie is great. So the Matthew Patel fight is the first time we have like this kind of it's the first time that the movie also stretch out the time the time, but the ratio stretch as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it does move the ratios quite a lot as well.
And that's this scene where they start moving the ratio around and basically telling you that you're like thing I hate the fan. And this scene is basically pretty much close to the original comic book. Except that Scott defeats Matthew Patel by doing another, because Matthew Patel have these ghost demon girls, and Scott Pilgrim defeat him because all this band do like also choreography thing. Yeah, because it's the Indian like Indian like Bollywood movie like reference. Yeah. Well, it's like it's good, and the movie stopped being accurate to the comic books after the what's his name again? Where is the actor of Scott, the Captain America actor?
Oh, Chris Evans.
Is not in there?
He's not listed there. No, but yeah, it's Chris Evans anyway. But yeah, go on.
Maybe he was surprised. Is a surprise. Maybe that's Scott Pilgrim the series. No, that's not. No. But like after he showed up, he died the same way. The most because he couldn't. It's very like how he killed him is a bit like it's like it's not fair. It's not fair. It's just like go kill yourself over there. Why not you kill yourself over there?
Well, I think I think what it was. Yeah, it was appealing to his ego or something like that because he comes across as being very conceited. But also like even that scene where Chris Evans' character is doing the fucking. I mean, look, I don't think Chris Evans can ride a skateboard to save his fucking life. But again, because of great shot selection, good stunt coordination, and everything else, and great visual effects, it makes him look like it makes him look like Tony Hawk could,
Yeah, it's a Tony Hawk, like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, he dies at the end because he goes down too fast. But
he goes down the ramp too fast.
Yeah.
Slide.
Grind.
It's called a grind, kid.
But yeah, can you do a thingy over there? It's called a grind, kid. Can you do a grind thingy over there? But yeah, I like. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just like, even though some of the deaths, some of the fights are a bit. I wouldn't say the fights are short. I love mate. The fights are brilliant. The visuals are just fucking out of this world in this movie. It's so good, so good. I mean, I think this is the thing that blew me away. It's like, for instance, when they have the fight with they have the music fight, right? So it's Sex Bomb versus the Katanagi twins.
The twins, yeah.
And first off, they start playing against each other, and the next thing is they press the button, the dragons come flying out.
No, because they're like they're
Japanese.
They're band. They're all starting at the same time, so it's like
it's Battle of the Bands, but the amp versus amp. So the dragons come over and they blow them away and they knock them down and they get back up again, and they find their resolve and they play against it. And next thing is the dragons come out, but then all of a sudden this fucking Yeti comes out from their side.
That's all the movie. That's all the movie. That's all the movie.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's a great kind of like. I don't know. I mean, you can pick so many. You can pick so. Even the fight with when Ramona has to fight against one of her exes. She has a fight, and then it has to be Scott, but Scott doesn't want to hit a girl. So Ramona grabs him, and they work together to beat her up.
Also, the bag is basically she have like a
mallet.
No, it's the bag that she has is. What's it called? Like again, in D&D, there's a reference to D&D. She has.
Is it?
It's endless bag or bag of. It's basically a bag that's no bottom.
Oh, right,
it's like a dimension, pocket dimension, and basically like she can have a hammer in the bag or stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that's introduced in the book as well. Like she have a lot of like things like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. She pulls the hammer out, and there's this visually brilliant fight between the two of them.
Yeah,
and the thing is, like, I mean, even like transitions, visual storytelling, the fight choreography, like this film is fucking amazing. I mean, do you know something, right? And this is what infuriates me about we're only a decade and a bit later, right? How is it that movie can be made for like a fraction of the budget? I mean, even if you factor in inflation, for a fraction of the budget of a lot of modern movies, right? And it looks from beginning to end looks fantastic. Then you watch Thor: Love and Thunder. With a, I think it had a production budget of like something like $275 million, and at times that film looks fucking atrocious.
But like, what I think is the movie weakness, we already talked about what we like about the movie.
Yeah,
but like, is there anything you don't like about the movie?
To be honest with you, right, I have trouble kind of picking faults in this movie, and the reason why I do is because like for me. Especially when it comes to a movie like this, don't get me wrong, I love slow-paced dramas, I love gangster movies, I love like epics, I love westerns, I love loads of different movies, man. I mean, like I think that's the wonderful thing about movies in general. Is like there is something for everyone, but if you love the art form itself, then there's always going to be something there for you. Yeah. And I think with this movie here, and I'm probably not the best position to criticize it because. This ticks a lot of my boxes in terms of like visual invention, music, editing. Again, it's just
the humor is a bit like the
humor's goofy.
Yeah,
it's very kind of American for the time.
Yes,
like and I suppose but there's a certain ageless quality to this film.
Yeah,
right. I think that film will look fantastic in 30 years' time.
I think the Netflix show. I hope it's going to be fantastic as well.
Yeah, we'll cross our fingers and toes. It's going to be out. This comes out on the 16th.
It's coming this week.
Yeah, well, from the time we record, right, we're recording it on the Wednesday. It'll be out on the Friday.
Yeah,
right, and so it'll be out on the 17th of the same. Actually, it'll come out the same day as the series.
What a coincidence! Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. Maybe we're on the zeitgeist on this one, guys.
Yeah, it's like it's one of my favorite movies, and
I love it.
Like, if I have to give one critic,
go on.
it has to be made of 2 movies. It should have been made to do like
Yeah,
2
but I don't
movies.
think they had that luxury.
They
mate.
didn't have that luxury. I know they didn't have that luxury.
didn't,
I'm
which sucks.
I'm really aware of this because there is more character development. For example, for the character of the vegan guy.
Oh, Brad Ruth's character. Yeah,
The vegan guy.
Todd.
The vegan guy in comic books is cheating on the girlfriend at the same time that happened. Do you know the drum girl at the back?
Yeah,
The drum girl with the big glasses in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing. She had a big part of the thing, and she was cheating on. They were having sex, an affair, while she was with the lead singer. Thing.
Oh, okay.
And that's her that punch. That's her, the guy with the glasses, the drummer that punch knives collar out.
Oh, really?
That's not him who punched her. That's her because she had a robotic arm. She's a drummer with a robotic arm. Like it's.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's a robot with a robotic arm. Like she's a drummer with a robotic arm.
No, I take your point. Look, don't get me wrong. I do-
Like, yeah, there's so many things that was left out. There's so many things that was,
Yeah, but I think, to be honest with you, right, you know, last week, right?
Yeah.
When we were talking about Constantine, now just play it in the reverse.
yeah. Basically, this movie is built by Constantine.
Yeah.
the character are there. It's not like Constantine,
Yeah, no, but the point I'm going to make is, but bear with me on this one. Sorry, mate. Is that initially I didn't really want to talk about like it as an adaptation to the original source material because I didn't feel it was a representation of the source material, right? But in this one, it's kind of almost reversed. But I think I'm not familiar with the source material. I've never read it.
I read it. Yeah.
So like with you, like it's something that because you've read it and you've experienced it, like there's always going to be something there that you're not going to be happy with. In Constantine, it was way more so, to be perfectly honest with you. Also, I feel like with Constantine, it's an okay movie. Where I love this film. Like Constantine is a movie that I can watch and enjoy, and then turn my brain off, and then revisit every now and again. Still enjoy it, but there's something about. I think Scott Pilgrim has a magic about it that I can't quite define. This is why I don't like. Okay, I don't have the connection to the original source material. I've never read it.
I think,
but man, I love this movie.
Pilgrim is the rallyment of a generation. It's the movie of a generation.
In what ways? Yeah.
Yeah, it
and
is
I think that's why. Even though, like, again, it didn't do well at the box office at all, but it gained a massive cult following.
Because it's the movie of a generation.
Yeah, it's a movie. Yeah, but it's not just because it's a movie of a generation. Okay, like we'll take that point.
Yeah, sorry.
But it's also the fact that it's a fucking good movie
It's
that was
Edgar Wright.
poorly marketed.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is, okay, like those people who came away from the cinema probably turned around and said to their mates, "Do you know what? You should go see this movie. It's actually really good." Oh, fuck it. I mean, I've not. They're not familiar with the property.
No.
It hasn't got a strong marketing campaign behind it, so they kind of leave it alone. And then like people start picking up on it, and then their friends, and they talk about it to their friends, and they get a bit older, and then all of a sudden they're talking about it to their younger relatives, or it gets starts getting passed down.
It speaks to a kind of a punk kind of what group does it speak to? Like our group, like kind of a geeky geek, like
Well, yeah, yes and no. I mean, I think to be honest,
the movie talked to a geek kind of.
Yeah, it talks to geeks, but it also talks to music fans. It also, because there's like the whole thing about being hip and cool. I mean, I remember even when I was a teenager, like back in the 90s, like I remember having fucking arguments with my college mates about. I remember one particular conversation in particular. I don't know why I remember it, but Manic Street Preachers has just released "If You Tolerate This, Then Your Children Will Be Next," right, as a single. Of their, I think this was their fourth album, and at the time it was seen as their most commercially successful. It came off the back of Design for Life. Design for Life was fucking huge. They got massive. Then they released this album. They released If You Tolerate This, Your Children Will Be Next. And I remember like me and my mates having this massive fucking like stupid discussion. Really, when you think about it, because it's not really that important. But I remember we were talking about my friends were saying, "Oh yeah, they've sold out. They're too commercial now." And I'm like, wait a minute. Their music is still their music. It's just that it resonated with a lot of people. So therefore, they're selling gangbusters. Shouldn't you be happy for them? We're having this like mad, because like there's always this kind of stupid fucking logic about, when you discover a band, when you discover music. Like Knives even like mentions it very briefly when she's like dyeing her hair. She says to her friend, "Oh yeah, that bitch got into music. I only discovered good music a couple of months ago. And she's had years on me. Blah 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 blah. Even though like Ramona's only about 22, but there's a 5-year difference, and so she's a lot more versed in like that subculture. So yeah, I mean, there is that thing when you're young about being cool and what's in, and that kind of thing.
You see the character Knife at the beginning, she loved the big bands, like the ex girlfriend of Scott band, like the big bands. She doesn't know the small bands and stuff like that.
Yeah, the ones that are coming up. But that's how you get it. That's how most people get into it. It's like you start off with more familiar bands, and then all of a sudden you start finding out about newer bands. In this day and age. Back when I was going to college and that, it'd be like, we used to have XFM in the UK, and XFM would play all the independent stuff, all the indie music and all that kind of stuff. Pardon me.
It's okay.
And that was like, that's how we discovered music. And another way we discovered music is by lending each other CDs and lending each other tapes and going to gigs together. And I wasn't a massive gig. I went to a few gigs, but I didn't go to loads and loads and loads. But I have friends of mine who still go to gigs to this very day. The last gig I went to was seeing Therapy in 2015 with an ex-girlfriend. But yeah, like in terms of like what's cool and what's in, it speaks to young people in general, because that is resonant. No matter, like, it doesn't matter what age it's in, as long as you're like between the ages of like say 15 to 25, that's going to speak to you. Yeah. And even with the video game references, I'd say the video game references are probably going to. But even then, like if I'm playing a game at the moment, Hades, which I fucking adore. Came out in 2020 or 2021. I only picked it up a couple of weeks ago. I picked it up cheap on Steam from a recommendation on Twitch. And I fucking love that game. But it's got real old school sensibilities about it. It's top-down, isometric. It doesn't have... I mean, it's got a beautiful art style. Yeah. But, there are... I mean, like, I don't think it's even about graphics. Like, AAA games now have, like, amazing graphics.
Scott Pilgrim generation games are not about graphic.
Well,
at the time, they were about graphic. Yeah. But, like, we love them not for the graphic. We love them because they're memories.
Yeah, I mean, it's like my recollections of playing Street Fighter 2 in the arcades, putting my 20 pence in.
You see all those Street Fighter references, like, hey, oh! Yeah.
But also...
all those...
Yeah, we have those, there's all those, like, video game references, and I still think they hold up as well. So, I don't know. I think, like I said, this film is ageless. It will always appeal to, like, young people.
I hope so.
Oh, no, I'd say it would do. I mean, I'd be amazed if it didn't. I mean, because, certain things may age. Yeah. Right? But the one thing about that movie, again, my God, it looks good. It's just so fucking amazing to look at. And I wish, like, I really do wish kind of more movie makers now. I'm not saying you necessarily everyone copy Edgar Wright. I mean, I'm not saying that at all. But take a bit of fucking, like, look at what he's done with minimal resources. He's created. I mean, it didn't do great at the box office, but it became a cultural touchstone for a lot of people.
Yeah, did it make money? Does it matter?
No, it's made money now.
Okay, yeah.
So by the time it got onto DVD and Blu-ray, I mean, we're only talking box office at the cinema. So it didn't do well at the cinema, but again, it's one of those movies that really generated a groundswell.
And I bought did I tell you about the soundtrack of the movie?
Yes, you did, actually. Yeah. I'm not surprised.
It's one of the best soundtrack of a movie. I think the one shot of the soundtrack, I don't know for sure, but he wrote songs for the
Go along, Lash. Go to
IMDb to check the soundtrack.
No, I'm just going to do it here. Chill.
Basically, Beck, the artist Beck.
Yeah, no, I love Beck.
Yeah, he did the soundtrack. Yeah, It's the one who wrote Ramona. The song Ramona.
That doesn't surprise me. That sounds
like you hear Michael Cera singing Ramona, but then later on when he got dumped, there is the actual audio of Ramona. Yeah, actually we could play the. Oh no, we cannot.
No, we can't.
Copyright. It's a great song. Like there's the Ramona short version and there's the orchestral version of Ramona. That's one we hear at the end in the credits. We didn't watch the credits.
Let's see what comes up. Yep, got it here. A second. I want album. There we go.
Various artists. It's various artists because it's just a collection of artists. Like,
some of it's blacked out.
Oh fuck.
Because of licensing. That's probably what. But Threshold, Sex Bomb, Scott Pilgrim, Plumtree. We Are Sex Bomb. by your side, you got the Black Lips.
That's so sad. That's so sad. Like that you have some of those songs that.
Beck. Yeah, Beck.
Beck wrote the song Ramadan.
Yeah, but
and Sex Bomb.
Under My Thumb. I'm sure I heard fucking. I'm virtually sure I heard Dandy Warhol's on there as well.
Teenage Dream. Whatever happened to the teenage dream?
Yeah.
Oh, Katrina, why you gotta be mean? And this song is only just the bass.
Yeah.
Literally, you don't hear the sound, but it's there. It's like, oh, it's like when Ramona go away on the roller skate and say like, oh, wait, it's like, oh, by the way, it's at the dun, 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 dun. And then you say the rocket, the thing. Like, yeah. And it's just the bass line. But we all know that bass line. Like it's in my psyche as well. Like, you know, like
yeah. But no, I think the sound of it is fantastic. Teenage Dream T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you look through it, man, there's some.
So sad, so very, very sad.
13 seconds. That's fucking hilarious.
It's there.
Dear.
It is there.
Oh no, expanded version. Hold on a second. There's more. There's more.
Yeah, no, there's more.
Okay, so
Threshold.
I am sure I heard the fucking Dandy Warhols in there somewhere. Let's have a look.
Warhols.
There's a lot of Beck. Unless I
need to listen to that one.
Broken Social Scene. No, I can't see him on there. All right, okay. I'm probably mistaken.
And probably do you know what's funny about Brian Lee O'Malley and the music? He's also a musician.
Is he now?
And in the comic books, there is tab. Tab is like basically the finger picking to play a chord. Like, it's like it's not like reading music, but it's like for guitar and stuff like that. So he will have I don't know if it's one or twice, but he will have leave while the character are playing, he will have leave the chord on the page for people to play it.
Oh, that's class. That's really clever.
That's very clever because he's also a musician.
Yeah,
he's also a musician, and I kind of like that. I love that. You know what? It's full of love. This franchise, Pilgrim, is full of love. It's about love and it's about thing. There's no really. It's just love. It's just like this. All movie is about love.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm very romantic, man.
Yes, you are. Roman by name, romantic by nature.
This is the movie that I stand by today, and I think one of the messages of the movie is like Pilgrim is not stronger with love. Pilgrim is stronger with self-love.
Well, yeah, self-respect, like love of self. Yeah,
love of self.
Yeah.
Like, how can you love someone else
without
if you don't?
And also, like, if you don't, another thing is like if you don't respect yourself, and you're dependent on other people not for gratification, but for like validation, right? Then that kind of always leaves you in like a position where you're always going to be insecure.
You're demanding. You're just like you're master of your life. Because
exactly.
If you want to be happy, you have to depend on other people.
Yeah, it's not just depending on other people, but depending on other people's validation. I think it's a very a very unhealthy place to be. I mean, like people turn around to me.
Is it not what every actors are?
Well, I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, I think like because we are a social species, there's always going to be a degree of like, there will be some degree of like looking for validation from others. Do you know what I mean? But I think also at the same time, like you got to have kind of self-validation. It's like, a lot of people turn around and might say like it's been leveled at me more than once that you're arrogant. People might say you're arrogant. Do you know what I mean? Because if you've got confidence in yourself, if you've got a feeling of self-worth, and then you're not dependent on other people for their validation, it's like I remember hearing like once when I was a youngster, if you praise yourself, what was it? You got to wait for other people to judge your work or judge you as a person, rather than turn around and saying no, I'm good at something, or I'm worth something. You got to find that within yourself before you can then express it to other people. And if some people will go with it, and other people will rail against it. But that's just the nature of the beast in terms of like living in a society of other people that you've got to deal with on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, that's what I liked about this movie, because initially he fought for the love of Ramona and lost, but when he fought with self-respect and we kind of started actually treating people like people rather than being a dick about things. So Scott is a bit of a twat.
It's not being a dick. It's just that he's not careful of what he's doing.
No, he's a bit of a dickhead, man.
He's a bit of a dickhead.
He is a bit of a dickhead.
Okay.
But he's a lovable dickhead.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's one. So I mean, he's got a huge group of friends. There's obviously a lot of people around him who kind of value him as a person. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
But he's a lovable dickhead. Do you know what I mean? You want to, and I think Michael Cera plays that to perfection.
Yeah,
he does it brilliantly well. And also another thing is like, because I know like poor old Brie Larson, she gets a lot of stick online at the moment. Brie Larson.
Who's Brie Larson again?
Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I thought she was fucking brilliant.
She's brilliant. Yeah, she's unrecognizable there.
Yeah, she's like really kind of she really does exude personality.
Yeah,
she's really kind of like I love the kind of bitchy kind of
and I think she's singing. Yeah?
That's her voice.
Like in the album version, there's the band who play the song that sing. But I think in the thing that she's singing I think she's singing.
So if that's the case, she's got a hell of a voice on her as well.
I think she's singing.
So she's a talented girl. I mean, God bless her. And we can we watched Captain Marvel. Neither one of us liked it, but I think in this, I thought she was fucking brilliant. I really liked her. I think, to be honest, all the cast played. I mean, I liked the way kind of Chris Evans kind of played it up. Scott.
Is it called Other Scott?
Yeah, the gay lover of Wallis. But yeah, I love it. Aubrey Plaza's in it. Anna Kendrick. I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Like, there's a great cast here, man. They're so full of fucking personality. And like Jason Schwartzman really chews the scenery as Gideon, the final of the evil exes. I mean, Ellen Wong's really good as Knives Chow. I love her facial expressions. I mean, she's very expressive. Oh,
she's great.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're all great. I mean, it's a great cast. I mean, I know we've kind of like.
No, okay.
Who are you thinking of?
All
right. Go ahead.
And now you be just called Neil. It's called Young Neil. Like
that's right.
Young Neil. Like it's like you should be called Neil. It's like for him. It's like,
I think that's a joke. I think that's a little bit of an inside music joke because you've got Neil Young.
I think some of the characters have reference to music. Actually,
they probably do. That's definitely one of them. But yeah, like I really fucking like this movie. I think, like I said, the cast are brilliant. It's technically fantastic. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I really look. I can talk all the live long day about how much I love this movie. I think it's fucking fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, I think like I keep like scratching things we talked about. We pretty much talked about everything about the movie.
All right, then.
Yeah. Do you know what we should go? What should we do, John?
What should we do? Well, first and foremost,
we should talk about what we
gonna watch next week.
Yeah, gonna watch next week. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get that up now. So we've done the last of the panel to projector series, and the last one for the month of November is going to be Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass, yes, it was released a bit shortly, 2013, I think. No,
it was released about the same time, about 2010, 11, I think, maybe 12. No. Was it 10 or 12, I think?
Oh, you're right. It was released at the same time.
Yeah, it was roughly within a couple of years of each other. And that's also another fantastic movie by a really, again, like another really visual, fucking fantastic film. And really makes me kind of very wistful for that particular period of time.
It's also the other movie. I think we could maybe extend this one to December, or we cannot extend this for December.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll have an old chat about it off screen.
Yeah,
rather than doing it now.
Because I really want to talk from Sin City. We're great. Want to talk about as well.
Oh, I suppose we can always carry on.
We can. So we can keep it for next year, next November.
There is always that as well. I mean, there's plenty. Right, we have options at our disposal.
I know there's options, but like I kind of feel we leave you short. Like like it's a bit like.
Well, we could always do a couple more. I don't mind.
Yeah,
I don't mind. We'll talk about it off screen anyway. But we are going to be talking about
the main one. Basically, yeah. Sorry, I cut you.
It's fine.
But like the main one we're going to talk about this next time is Kick-Ass.
Yeah. So for this time next week, we're going to be talking about Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to join us, then you're more than welcome. And who knows, we may even continue this series into December.
Should we try to make it live? This Kick-Ass? What? Should we try to make it live, Kick-Ass?
Again, that's a conversation for off screen.
Oh my god, sorry about that.
A bit too much inside baseball, but okay then. I think we've said everything we're going to say. I've kind of spoken how much I love it. You love it too, so yeah. I think we'll wrap it up there. Then.
I really want to watch the. I think can we do like a small review of the TV show when it came out?
That's not a bad idea,
Just
actually.
a tiny one, just a plus, you know, just like, bah, do something like.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll tell you what we'll do. Next week we're still going to be doing Kick-Ass, but maybe what we could do, is do like if we record another podcast, having watched the series. I mean, it won't be like a post watch, and we won't be like sitting down together watching it at the same time because it's going to be a TV series and no Netflix. It'll all be there. They don't.
Can we call this Pilgrim Part 2?
We'll just call it. I think it's Scott Pilgrim Takes Over. So we'll call it by its title. But anyway, whatever it's called, we'll talk about it off screen. If we can do it, then we'll do it. But we'll definitely have Kick-Ass next week.
Okay.
100%.
Yep.
All right. So in that case, then, shall we leave it there?
Yeah, we shall.
Okay. We shall leave it there. So in that case, then, my name's been John Clare.
I've been Ruben Presh.
This has been the Post Watch Post Mortem, and we thank you for taking the time to watch our podcast.
Yeah.
So see you next time.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
I think we said all we needed to say there. I thought I was.
No, like I kept checking. You know, like when we.